Forget everything you thought you knew about why people fall for scams. It's not about gullibility. It's about a gamble you didn't even realize you were making. We often assume scam victims simply believe the unbelievable, right? We picture them as naive, easily fooled by obvious fictions. But what about those long-running, clearly fictional scenarios, especially romance scams, where intelligent, cognitively competent people hand over thousands of dollars, sometimes for months on end? They ask for proof, they spot red flags, yet the transfers continue. That's a puzzle, and it's one Professor Neil Levy at Macquarie University has unpacked in his latest research. He reveals a more subtle, more complex truth. Many people don't fully believe the scammer's story. Instead, they're betting on a fantasy. This fantasy feels just plausible enough and emotionally attractive enough to keep them paying to sustain it. Think of it like this. Winning the lottery is wildly unlikely, but it doesn't require reality to completely change. It just needs your numbers to come up. Becoming prime minister is also wildly unlikely for most of us, but that requires a total reordering of your life and the world around you. Scammers position their fantasy much closer to that lottery win feeling. It doesn't have to be totally true. It just has to feel touchable, and that's a powerfully motivating force. Romance scams perfectly exploit this structure. The target thinks, maybe he really is a wealthy businessman who loves me. Crucially, the payoff isn't just a future dream of living in a mansion. It's a present tense reward. He loves me now. That immediate emotional boost makes the gamble feel worth it, even when doubts linger. Scammers start with small requests, incrementally increasing the sums. $1,000 for a plane ticket, then $1,500 for an emergency, then another fee. Each bet feels manageable, but they accumulate into devastating losses. Even seemingly absurd celebrity scams, like someone claiming to be Keanu Reeves needing money, operate this way. The flimsy cover story, Keanu's manager controls his finances, so he needs your help, isn't meant to genuinely convince you it's true. It simply offers just enough to induce a fantasy worth betting on. Scammers also employ deeply manipulative tactics, like intermittent rewards. Victims describe cycles of intense love bombing, followed by sudden ghosting or anger. This pattern mimics a slot machine. Withdrawal amplifies craving, and reconciliation delivers immense relief. This dysregulates emotions, making people more compliant. Isolation also plays a critical role. A scammer, especially one masquerading as a celebrity, often urges the victim to keep their communication a secret, effectively cutting them off from crucial reality checks from friends and family. And in the most heartbreaking twist, recovery scammers lurk in support forums, targeting recent victims with promises to retrieve stolen money, only to scam them again. It's important to recognize that not all scams trade in fantasy. Some are frighteningly plausible and well-evidenced. Think of an email perfectly mimicking your solicitor at settlement time, or a caller claiming to be law enforcement about identity theft. Anyone can fall for these under pressure. But for the less plausible scams, like investment pig butchering schemes where a wrong number text leads to a crypto opportunity and a fake balance skyrocketing on your screen, people are still betting. They see the reward as near, already half real, on their screen. Even a New York Times finance journalist, Charlotte Cowles, lost $50,000 in a shoebox to a stranger, later writing, "I never thought I was the kind of person to fall for a scam." So, how do we protect ourselves? First, we need to remove the stigma. If people can raise their early doubts without fear of being mocked, they are much more likely to escape. Too often, the fear of looking foolish keeps the bet alive, doubling down on sunk costs of both money and self-image. We can also educate ourselves and others, particularly vulnerable people who might feel isolated or lonely. Simple habits help. Do not answer unknown numbers. Do not respond to wrong number texts. Never click or call from a message. Always go directly to the institution yourself. Blocking, deleting, and refusing to engage are strong lines of defense. Recognizing the patterns of a scam, love bombing, secrecy, urgent small transfers, fees on attempted withdrawals, anger, or ghosting followed by relief, can also help puncture the fantasy. Scams are less about outright belief and more about an insidious emotional gamble. Understanding this mechanism gives us power. Let's talk about it, stay vigilant, and never underestimate the power of a compelling fantasy. Because the best defense starts with awareness. Join us next time as we dive deeper into the hidden psychology of our digital world. Until then, stay safe out there.